Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is an AI engineer that is completely cooked in this market. And make no mistake, we're in a recession. It is harder now to search for a job than it ever has been in the last 10 to 15 years. So, this person has stated that I usually tailor my resume and add projects based on the description. Do not do that. That is a terrible idea. That lowers your chances of getting an interview. What you want to do instead is find 15 different jobs that all have the same title, that have good job descriptions, because some job descriptions are awful, and make a resume based on those 15 jobs. Then you use that resume to mass apply without changing it for each jobs. I have been applying to at least 5 to 10 jobs every day. Good. That is the amount you should be. Connecting with recruiters on LinkedIn, that means nothing. We do not want that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you. That's like connecting with the person at the DMV while you're waiting in line. They're just going to look at you like, okay, that's nice. For at least 20 jobs. I very rarely get invited to the technical test, forget interviews. Currently, I'm working remote unpaid intern at a healthcare AI startup. So let's figure out why this person's resume is garbage, because they are getting 0 interviews, and what we can do to fix it. Because again, my goal is not just to trash your resume. It is to trash your resume so that you can learn to fix it to get a job. 2 quick notes before I start. I feel awful today, so I'm going to be blunter than normal, and you may see me look a little out of breath. That is just my normal health issues. I have them. They stink. I am not expiring. I just have those health issues that will happen. So if you see me out of breath, that what happens. And 2, they're doing construction still. I don't know when they were going to fix it. So what do we need for an AI engineer? We need the following: degree, Python or other backend, ML, LLMs, cloud, any of those. Built stuff in production, agentic systems, multi-agent, agentic coding, Claude, OpenAI, Codex, Cursor. You just need some of those, not all of those. Then frameworks such as LangGraph, LangChain, Google ADK, OpenAI, Agent SDK. Communicate technical details to a non-technical audience. ML ops, AI architecture, and AI orchestration. And rare but nice to have is the industry, SQL, RAG, Git, and NumPy. So let's see what they do and do not have in 20 seconds, which is the only amount of time that recruiters have to review your resume. If we cannot find it in that amount of time, you get rejected. So let's see what we can do. And 20 seconds and go. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this formatting. Okay, this isn't needed. Okay, this doesn't matter. Okay, own the full stack healthcare RCM with React. Why do I care about this? Why does this matter? Build a canonical claim, lifecycle, garbage. Denied trends, garbage. All right, time. Okay, there's a lot wrong with this resume. So, again, my goal is to trash it to get you a job, right? Again, I'm not just saying, haha, look at this person. I'm saying this is a garbage resume. This is utter trash, so that you can fix it, so that you can get a job. I want it to be not trash, because my job is easier when I don't look through trash resumes. I want to be clear. Like, people think that recruiters enjoy. We don't. We hate rejecting people. It's the worst part of the job. So, couple of notes here. When people follow my methods, they get 1 interview per 7 applications. That's how you can tell how good or bad your resume is. This person, it takes them over 150 applications to get an interview, so it's bad. And when you follow my method, you get a 1 in 7. There is an asterisk to that. If you're fully remote looking, then it's 1 in 20. And if you're an international, it's a 1 in 90 to a 1 in 100. I think sometimes I can get them a 1 in 40, but that's how hard it is for an international. So this person's ratio should be about 1 in 90 to 1 in 100. All right. So let's explain why this resume stinks. First things first, your formatting is awful. This is the formatting you want to use. You can ignore that little part down there. This is the formatting you want to use. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below in the link tree. This is peak resume performance. It may not look like it, but this is peak resume. It's boring. It's basic. Recruiters love it. That's what we need. It's like perfection. I cannot tell you how amazing it is to see this format when you have already reviewed 200 resumes in less than an hour. Because on average, a recruiter can review about 120 resumes an hour, sometimes more. And when you see something this basic and boring, it's so much easier to read rather than this nightmare. So, second, you've already graduated with a master's in the US. You do not need to put this here. Again, you are probably an international, so it's going to be about 1 in 90, but we can at least do that. And again, you may be asking, Lee, what are you talking about? Everything you said was here. Everything you were asking for right here. Sorry, health is right here. Why does that not count? Well, because we're not keyword hunting. People think recruiters keyword hunt. We're not. Bad recruiters do, and recruiters that just started keyword hunt. When I was a baby recruiter, I keyword hunted, and then I realized that was a good way to get your candidates rejected. So what you do instead is you qualification hunt. And a qualification is what you did, how you did it, and why you did it. Why you did it in a way that Bob can understand the impact. Who's Bob? Bob is the person that is looking at your resume, both the recruiter and the hiring manager. Bob cannot turn on their computer without calling tech support. Bob needs their assistant to send an email for them. Bob needs to understand what you did, how you did it, and why you did it, and why that was an impact to the business. If Bob cannot understand those what, how, whys, Bob will not move forward with your resume. And again, not just a recruiter, the hiring manager. People think it's the recruiter that rejects you. It's mostly the hiring manager, y'all. Like, we don't send resumes that we think the manager won't like. Like, that's a good way to upset the manager. So that is why these skill sections are worthless. No one cares about skill sections. They're not worthless. They're not worthwhile because it does not tell me how you did it. It does not tell me why you did it. And it doesn't tell me where you did it. So this could be removed. And then again, we remove this right here. Stop with the line. This should be italicized, and it's starting to already look a little easier to read, which again is the entire point of your formatting. That is it. Remember, you will never impress us with your resume. If you try to impress people with your skills on your resume, you get rejected. No one cares. You cannot impress people with your resume. It's like trying to cook a steak on your refrigerator. It's not built for it. All you're going to do is get a raw steak or a really, really, really untasty steak. So then we go down to here, and my problem is this is filled with hot dogs. So what is a hot dog? A hot dog in hiring is... I'm tired, y'all. I'm not gonna make this funny. This is important and you need to listen up if you haven't heard it. This is one of the most important things you're gonna listen. I don't care if this is boring. You need to learn it. A hot dog is, I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant, you order a hamburger, and instead of a hamburger, the waiter brings you a hot dog, and you say, "Why'd you do that, bro?" And the waiter says, well, we have the best hot dogs in the world. And you would say, I don't care, I wanted a hamburger. And they say, well, if you think about it, a hot dog is like a hamburger because a hot dog has meat like a hamburger, and a hot dog has buns like a hamburger, and a hot dog can have pickles, onions, mustard, and all that other stuff just like a hamburger. So I assure you, these are the best hot dogs you'll ever have. You said, I didn't want a hot dog, I wanted a hamburger, stop gaslighting me, I'm leaving. And that is the exact same problem I have here. React, Next.js, hot dogs. I don't care about that. RCM, hot dogs. TypeScript, maybe a nice to have for a full stack role. Drizzle, hot dog. AWS, good. The rest of that doesn't matter. Why do I care that you did a canonical claim design? Nobody cares about that. I want you to remember that how important your projects are and your internships don't matter. People are under the assumption that if you just grind a little harder and you show how good you are at being an engineer, you're going to get a job. That's not the case. No one cares how good you are. There's a minimum floor, to be clear, but that minimum floor is pretty low, honestly. So I don't care about all this stuff, TypeScript and whatever. I want to see AI. And in fact, I don't see anything here that is AI. Actually, yeah, I don't see anything here that is an AI. Like, why is it that your entire first AI has no AI? And normally I lower my knowledge of tech for these reviews. I actually don't see anything that would imply this person has done any AI. This is me actually like legitimately thinking like I don't see any of this. There's no SDKs, there's no Claude Code, there's no LangGraph LangChain, there's no N8N, there's no nothing that would imply it. So why is it that you're applying for an AI engineer job and you don't have any AI in your AI engineer internship? Remember, If it's in the skill section, it doesn't count. I need you in your bullet points to show a minimum of 3 keywords, which are right here, a maximum of 6, and you need to just tell me how you did it and why you did it in a way that Bob can understand. So this entire resume needs to be deleted and restart because there's nothing here I can use besides SQL and maybe AWS. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. And there we go. Multi-agent recruiter developed a recruiter-facing multi-agent screener for explainable JD to matching. This, you want to know why all of these job sites that give you recruiter stuff is bad? It's because everyone who can't get a job thinks they can make some kind of recruiter JD matching thing, and it fails. This person's project is a multi-agent screener for explainable JD match to resume matching, and they cannot get a single interview to save their life. This is why you shouldn't believe everybody online without credentials, y'all. Because it's people like this that are creating those programs. So I need you to delete this. I need you to remake this. I need you to tell me what you did, how you did it, and why you did it in a way that Bob can understand. And I need you to fix the formatting. And most importantly, I need this stuff. If your sentences don't have this, it doesn't matter. I don't see any AI in any of this. I don't see any of that. If you just said created a multi-agent website using Python, Python, LangGraph, OpenAI Agent SDK, Claude Code, and in an AWS environment, so users could use our multi-agentic systems to look for cheaper deals on their cars. That would get you interviews above and beyond all of this, but no one cares about this. I need you to get over your own ego and remember that no one cares how impressive you did what you did. It's how you write what you did, right? It doesn't matter if you solved world hunger. It matters that you have this stuff and that Bob can understand it. And that's a harsh truth of reality. Is that fair? Of course not, but life isn't fair, unfortunately. There is a reason we have hiring laws to prevent that stuff, and those are getting dismantled every single day. So, yeah, this resume fails at every single point. So, they need to delete this. They need to start again with a better format. They need to actually have the qualifications that I'm looking for in a way that Bob can understand. And they also need to make sure they're applying within the first 100 applicants. And yeah, because none of this works. And they need to stop making AI resume creator tools that clearly do not know how to make a resume. Next. No, hold on. Before we go to the next resume, I just want to say thank you all for watching. Again, I'm sorry I'm low energy. I feel awful today. My heart is pounding like a drum, which is my heart issues. But thank you for watching. And to my members, thank you for keeping this channel alive. I could not do this without your support. Your financial support lets me do this. That lets me give this advice for free. So if anybody wants to support this channel and get access to videos early and get access to the past live streams, you can join in the link below. But to my members, thank you very much for your support. I could not do this without you. And if anybody ever wants their resume reviewed, you can always join the live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. But let's go to the next resume, which is, I don't know, because if you join the live stream and you type !raffled, you get a chance to get your resume reviewed. I don't know who it is. It's all free. We're gonna find out. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So this person says they're looking for software engineer jobs in the Netherlands, which my advice, let me tell you where my advice works. My advice works in the US, the UK, Canada, Mexico, Africa, the EU, such as Germany and Turkey. I've gotten people jobs there, and Australia, and India. You know where my advice doesn't seem to work? The Netherlands. I don't know why. People always ask me why it doesn't work in the Netherlands. I don't know. I can get you a job everywhere else in the EU. I can get you a job in the UK. For some reason, the Netherlands is so incredibly different that my advice doesn't work. So if you're applying in the Netherlands, you actually probably shouldn't use my advice. And I'd rather tell you flat up. Now, this person also said they're probably trying to apply in the UK as well. So that I can help you with. So what do we need for a full stack? Well, in the EU, their qualifications are mostly the same as the US. The one difference that I have seen in the UK and the EU is that they prefer Java typically over Python. Otherwise, it's mostly the same. So, what do we need for a full stack? We need degree, right? I need to see your degree. I need to see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's not a joke. That's not a bit. That's not rage bait. If you do not have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, you're getting rejected. I don't care how basic and boring it is. The basic and boring gets you a job. So if I don't see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in that first line, you're done. RESTful API or REST APIs, SQL, any, cloud, any. Backend, if you're in the EU, UK, you should probably do Java, React or React Native, Git, GitHub, CI/CD, Agile DevOps, and the other stuff, they said. So, let's see. They've applied for 15 jobs 2 months ago. That's not enough. You still need to apply. So there's not enough jobs in the UK to apply to 50 jobs a week, but you should still be applying to at least like 20 to 30 a week. You said the plan was to start applying heavily during September. Let's see. I got rejected from one interview and got another. I know you said I should put HTML, CSS, but I really don't use HTML, CSS, only React or Tailwind. Okay, so there is a misconception about what you can and cannot put in your resume. If you've used it at all, put it on. Put it on if you've used it at all. We're not looking for the masters of the craft. We're just looking that we don't have to train you for a week to put it on. So there is a difference between I don't really use HTML and CSS that much, and I have not ever used HTML and CSS. So there is a big difference between those. So if you have used it, just put it on. That's fine, because what they're really looking for is they don't want to have to train you in the first 3 weeks on it. That's usually all it is. If you can hit the ground running without 3 weeks of training on it, you should put it on your resume. That's all they're really looking for. So React, though, you should still probably have. Tailwind, CSS, just put CSS. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Let's see what we can find with this. And again, this is for the UK, not the Netherlands. And go. Built an internal loan system with TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML. Leading workforce visibility, customer lifestyle. Why is it important that they led that? Improved core loan processing with Node.js, Postgre, and Redis. Hot dog. Why does this matter? I don't know. This doesn't matter. Automated CI/CD, GitHub Actions, Terraform doesn't matter. And Google has the safer, more repeatable. But why is that important? So this is not a disgusting bad resume. Okay, there are some flaws with this. I would say this is probably a D-, right? A D+, D-. First things first, education goes at the top. Education goes up here. Okay? Education goes here. Second off, not counting the HTML, CSS thing, I want a little bit more in this first sentence. Like, why is it that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points and you only have 3 keywords in this one? You get a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6. And I want to see instead build an internal loan management system using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, if you can say it truthfully. So TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React in a Google Cloud Platform (GCP) environment to let our banking teams do X. Because again, why? I'm not asking that you gave them visibility. I'm asking, why is it important that they had visibility? What was the purpose of that visibility? That's what Bob wants to know. And then here you only have, I'd say, 1 keyword. Here you have 1, 2, you have 3, but a GCP should be in the first one, so you really only have 2. Here has nothing. Here has nothing. Here has nothing. So you really only have 3 bullet points, and you only have 7 keywords to go between them. And I'm missing the back end. I'm missing the back end. I am aware that TypeScript can be considered that, but I need like the full like Java or Python or whatever, because I don't see that. Otherwise, again, it's not the worst. I just need you to make these changes to make it cleaner so that you can get more interviews. Will this work in the Netherlands? Probably not, but you know, it will work everywhere else in the EU and the UK. and in the US and everywhere else in the world. I don't know why the Netherlands are so different. Anyway, let's go to the next one. This is a embedded systems engineer intern. So this person stated, I currently have a firmware role, but I have an upcoming job fair at my university, and I just wanted to see where this resume stands. I used your format, but modified it a little bit. I know I've been at this role for a month, but I actually have done at least some of these things in the span of the month. Okay, that still might be a problem, but we can work with that. So, let's see. What do we need for an intern? We need embedded software and system. We need Python, C, C++, Linux, RTOS, shell scripting, industry type of product, education, and then again, just for like normal intern stuff, the ability to work well with others and take direction and criticism. So, let's see what we can find. 20 seconds is on the clock. Boop. And let's go. All right. Nope. Collaborated with firmware engineers using it to diagnose issues, corporate technical feedback. Good, but I want a little more. Developed embedded C for ARM processors to technical, firmware using interrupts in time, communication, improves reliability. Bad, why, but okay. This, diagnose firmware, heavy logic, don't really care. Doesn't matter. Well, that one's okay. All right, so there's a couple of flaws with this. So first things first, and I want you to tell me this. I think they're in chat, so they can tell me real quick. Is this an internship, or is this a full-time job, or is this a part-time job? What is this? Because that's going to change my advice. Because if this is a full-time job, you don't include this. It's not the fact that you haven't done this. It's the fact that they're going to be sus about it. They're going to say, why are you leaving? Okay, they just told me it is part-time. So I want you to put, and I want you to be very quick and honest about this, part-time embedded systems and product technician. And I would honestly just say part-time embedded systems engineer. Right? I wouldn't even use the product technician. I don't think the product technician is needed. So that is there. And now you said you've done all this. And my answer to that is, I believe you, but you've only been at the job for a month to 2. You don't need 5 bullet points. You should have 2 bullet points. And even going through this, I had one keyword here. One keyword here. These are extra credit. These might count, right? And then nothing and nothing. So it's not that you don't have the experience with this. It's that most of it isn't relevant, you know? You know what? Sorry. This one is one down here. This one is one down here because it tells me the product. But I don't need 5 bullet points to tell me 3 keywords. That's just not enough relevancy. I also need to see RTOS. I need to see Linux and shell scripting. And I need to see that you can take direction and criticism. So my big problem isn't that I don't believe that you've done it. It's that you need more. And why is it that they're so spread out? Like if you just said worked with firmware engineers using Linux, RTOS, C to incorporate technical feedback of our soldering and hardware modifications on camera systems before they went out to our customers. Like that alone would be fine. In fact, that alone probably has almost everything I need in a single bullet point. And I know you're proud of this, and you should be, right? I don't want to tell you not to be proud of something, but no one cares on a resume how proud you are. And really, you could probably get every single thing you needed in one bullet point. So that's my big problem with all of this. And then here, again, I'm missing RTOS, and I'm missing a good why. So is this a garbage, no good, destroy this resume? No, it's close. It's close to being what we need. Also, quick note, 2 formatting issues. One, these should not be bolded. This is italicized. This should be italicized. So you need to italicize this. There's not a good mark that I can use. This one, let's say this. This is italicized. Second off, there is too big of a gap between these two because if you notice, it goes straight into it right here. So That is a gap. That is a gap. That should be not bolded. Should be italicized total. Otherwise, formatting is fine. But yeah, I just need you to condense this. Like, I know you're proud of it, but it's too much information for too little skills. Next resume. This is a network administrator. So, what do we need for network administrator? Well, one, this person's resume is awful formatting wise. This is the best I can do it. It messed up on the formatting. So we need a degree or high school diploma, then CompTI networks, SCCNA, CCNP, installing, configuring, maintaining switches, routers, servers, UPS systems, and access points, troubleshooting, cloud, DNS, DHCP, CMP, HTTP, HTTPS, PS5, LAN, WAN, VWUP, and VPN, vulnerability, security, and incidents response, and dealing with third-party vendors. So this person said, I've recently obtained the CompTI. I have not updated my resume yet. I did provide a resume I've been using, but aligned to user format. For the longest time, I've been trying my best to get into the bigger tech space. I work within payroll. My dream is to work at NASA. My thing is that if I can get into an IT role, network role, or systems ad, I can get into NASA with the role. I don't know if that's true or not. That might be. Like, have you looked? Like, you may want to just look at what NASA's requirements are, because that's like the big thing. Also, another, I have gone to college but never graduated. I can attend a college like WGU if it's really important. For network admins, usually high school is what we want. So high school is fine, but I will need to see that you have high school. Also, the construction is like going so much more right now. So let's see what we can find in 20 seconds, because that's all that matters. And go. Okay, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Certs. Okay, this is good. Let's see. Load product. Why does this matter? Uh, I mean, none of this is what I'm looking for. Again, I know this is very hard to read, but that's I just don't see this stuff. Like, where's, I saw troubleshooting, but like, where's DNS, DHCP, or anything from there? Where's the routers, the server systems, uh, the configuring, maintaining switches, setting up time clocks are not related. Like, again, this doesn't look like it's related. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I can say, is it just doesn't look like this is related. Bachelor, no, just put that you graduated in, oh, and you're Spanish. That's great. We want to see that you can speak multiple languages. That should be up at the top. If you can speak multiple languages, you should put it like right here. The companies love to see that. But yeah, like, my problem with this resume is that besides the CCNA and besides the tier 2 support, I don't see anything that would imply that you're a network admin. And I need to see that. I need to see DNS, DHCP. I need to see LAN WAN. I need to see WUP and VPN. I need to see vulnerability, security, incident response. I need to see you can deal with vendors. And you don't need all of this. You only need about 70 to 75% for this. But my big issue here is just I don't see it. Also, your formatting is atrocious and I hate it. You should never, ever, ever use this formatting. I don't know what this is, but it's bad. You should use this. So that's kind of all I can do for this. There's not much else, because I just don't see how they are related to the role that I am recruiting for besides the cert, which is it. Next resume. This is the resume of a Python backend developer. This person is an international with an OPT. So we are going to expect them to get a minimum or their goal should be a 1 in 80 to a 1 in 100. For an international, unfortunately, a 1 in 100, again, good ratio. So that is what we're going for. Right now, they're a little bit over 1 in 200, which is not good. Slightly better than I was expecting, though. But what do we need for a Python engineer? Well, we need Python. If you don't have Python and you're a Python dev, they're going to reject you. We need RESTful APIs, SQL, REST APIs, Git, CI/CD, Django, Flask, Docker, Agile, Fast API, And this is where it breaks down into two separate different ones. Is you're either going to want like AI, so agents, LangGraph, LLM, RAG, Pydantic, that kind of thing, or full stack such as TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React. So you're going to need to break down into one of those two buckets. Which one you do is up to you. So 20 seconds on this person's resume. Let's see what we got. Right, and I messed up. And there we go. 20 seconds and go. Okay, bachelor's degree, good. This doesn't matter. Formatting is off. Wrote Python scripts that automated the process validation. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Quickly learned. I don't care that you learned. I care that you did. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Diagnosed and resolved. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Developed a Python to upload PDFs. Doesn't matter. Without manual searching. Actual good sentence. Time. You tried to brag, buddy. I know this is what every international tries to do, is they think that if they show how good they are, they can get the job. Unfortunately, you have to blend in. You cannot show how good you are. So what is wrong? One, the formatting is off. This is not this. This, not this. This, not this. This is what we need it to look like. Second off is there's a lot here that is just filled with hot dogs, right? Like, I don't care that you did this, right? If you want to put the dean's list, you have to put it into one sentence, right? That's what we need. And then here, none of this is really related. Like, this is my problem, is none of this is actually related. Like, why do I care about any of that? And I don't. The only thing that I have that is actually relevant is this wrote Python scripts. Okay, good. And then that's it. Why is it that I can't find anything else? Where's the SQL? Where's the cloud? Where's the Git, the CI/CD, the Django, the Flask, the Docker, the Agile, the Fast API? And then where's either the AI or the full stack? And the answer to that is it's nowhere here. There's none of it in any of this. And because it's not in any of those, it doesn't matter. And again, I still need to know what you did. So why is it? And this is one of your problems, besides us being in a recession and, you're an international, is why is it I only find one thing I want in this entire section? There's literally only one thing I want in this entire section, and you still don't tell me why you did it. Well, you kind of did. Validation, you see, that automated the processing of roadside asset records, replacing weeks of manual review. That is fine. But why is it there's only a Python? Where's the rest of it? And then we go down to here. And again, this doesn't count. Developed a Python, okay, good, and Fast API application, good, that lets users upload PDFs and receive answers without manually searching each document. That's good. Again, no numbers, stop putting numbers, but that at least is good in what you did and why you did it. The problem is, again, I only have two. And then the application uses OpenAI, and that is one. And then LlamaDex, that is, again, one. So my problem with this resume is even if you were not international, this resume would struggle to get interviews because you don't have anything. There's no cloud, there's no APIs, there's no Git, there's no CI/CD, there's no Django, there's no Flask, there's no Docker, there's no Agile, there's no Fast API. And I have to scroll all the way down here until I get agents. And I'm going to be honest, the way you wrote this, they may not even know those are AI agents. They may not even know. They may not get to this part. You need to be a little more explicit in what you used. Because remember, if it's up here, it doesn't count. You have to show me in the bullet points. And the sad part is you have them in the skills section, right? You have SDLC, you have Git, you have Docker, all the way at the bottom. You have OpenAI, you have RAG pipelines. I need to see those in the bullet points. If those are not in the bullet points that describe what you did and how you did it and why you did it to Bob, it doesn't count. So this is why this person is struggling, not even counting the international part, which again is already tough. So That's all I could do for this resume, and that's it for this stream or this video. Thank you all very much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And to my members, thank you for keeping this channel alive. Your financial support lets me keep doing this and give this advice free for everybody. And if you want to support this channel, you can join in the link below, and you get access to videos early, and you get access to past live streams. But if anybody ever wants their resume reviewed, hop on when I'm streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, and right here on YouTube. Just type !raffle to get into it, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.